I feel like now people will come for me, but I feel like Nigerians we have inferiority complex. Yeah,
Most of us do.
most of us do.
Yeah.
Because this is why you mentioned something very, very interesting. You talked about the Chinese building things and putting the instruction in their language. Whether you like it or not, if you need to buy a gadget and you need it and it's written in Mandarin, you have to find a way to translate it to use the gadget. Now, you see a typical Igbo man, I'll use an Igbo man for example. They have an accent, we have a tongue. There's a way we speak. Like I used to tease my mom those days. They call rain lane. The Igbo man cannot pronounce the word R properly. You find an Igbo man who has gathered enough strength and courage to speak in front of a camera and people are laughing at him and say he cannot speak English. But for crying out loud, English is not his mother tongue.
Yeah.
But how do you see people that does that? If I speak English and makes mistake, they will laugh at me, or they will say you have Ibotic accent. What accent do you want me to have?
This is where the inferiority complex comes
What
from because we
accent
want to.
do you want me to have?
It's a very good question. You should ask. Actually, look at the camera and ask them. Because
Yeah, I don't speak
As an
Igbo.
Igbo man, me speaking another man's tongue, what accent do you want me to use to speak that tongue? All right, everybody, welcome to Vicinfluential podcast. Today I am on set with three incredible people. One is a regular guest, and two, today is their first time, and I am sure you guys are going to enjoy them because they are regular and they are pro on their craft. And we are going to deliberate on the issue that is going to help us Nigerians. Four of us are Nigerians on set today. We are going to discuss about our road to 2050, how we are going to help Nigerians along the way. 2050, Nigeria is going to be the third populous nation in the world, over 400 million youths, 60% under 30. So it's a huge manpower and also a huge talent. We are going to be helping, talking, and know the way that we can lead them for our youth and Nigeria to be great on a global stage. Welcome to Vicinfluential. So you guys heard my intro. Please, can you introduce yourself to us?
Good evening, guys. Thanks for having me. My name is the creator AJ2 on all social media platforms. I am a creative personnel here in UAE, a project manager, and also on and off a concierge.
My name is Dixon Okezwe. I am a sales officer by day and a content creator by
By
night. You
night.
can find me on all social media with Dixon Okezwe. One word, no space.
Hi friends, I'm Citizen Oluwatosi. I'm a social media influencer, media personality here in UAE.
Welcome to Vicinfluential, guys.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you
us.
for
you.
having
Thank you.
us.
It's great. And did I keep you for a long time?
Do you want us to answer that honestly?
All right. So you heard my intro. In the next 25 years, we are going to be the third populous nation in the world. And I'm sure that is not a beans. I'm sure that Nigeria is about 200 plus now, and the whole world is already complaining. So by the time we get to 400, I am sure that they will want to. It's either they are planning to ban us from the earth, or they will just tell us to stay on
where
our
we
own.
are.
Yes. So how can we harness the talents Nigerians have? How can we direct them into the right path? Because I'm sure Nigerians have so much talent. We have so much talent, but if you don't keep on telling them, influence them in the right path, like tell them what to do right now, because if you look at Nigeria, we know where we come from. So many youths just want to stay in the room and make all the money in the world. And using the skill God gave them, using their head, it will be much better for them that they benefit society, solve problem physically, anyhow, educate whoever that is closer to them, also be an influencer to other people? How can we lead them? How can we show them what to do? This is my question, citizen.
Very good. How can we influence the coming generation of Nigerians? Well, for me, I feel the bulk of the work depends on not only government, but as well individuals. And individuals in our own capacity, what we can do is make sure everyone that is around us, whether our family, friends, people around us, we influence them positively. But topics like this, we cannot talk about it without talking about government, because the bulk of the game, the most responsibility belongs to the government. So government need to, as a matter of urgency, know what works at this age. In your intro, you mentioned that they want to stay in their room and make all the money in the world. It's possible, 100%. It is possible you are in your room, you don't go out, and you are working for a company that's miles away, and you are doing excellently well for them, and they are paying you awesomely. It is possible. But does the government, does the leaders, do they know how the world works this age? Do they know how the world works this age? So in the event where government do not know how the world works, it is now the responsibility of you and I to influence people that are around us by especially providing good information to them, creating good content that will impact them, that will let them know that there's light here, there's opportunity here, so that we can influence them positively by doing that.
Yeah, that is good. If we already know that you can stay in your room and make all the money in the world, now we are going to teach them or point out exactly the things you can do in your room. Judging from where I come from and stating that, Nigerians understand what I mean. Now, there are things you can do in your room right now, yes. But do they know that? There are so many Nigerians that don't know. Now you have to start teaching them, these are the things you can do in your room. It's not defrauding or doing Yahoo.
Sure.
Right? You can do coding. There are so many jobs. I think right now, I would say most jobs, 40% of it, you can do it in your room. You understand? But these are the things you can actually do in your room. You can learn that skill, but how can you learn that skill? You have to go and meet people. You have to have the zeal to learn that skill. There are so many things. Then after you learn that skill, you can choose wherever you want to do it from. But first, you have to start developing your mind. We need Nigerians that want to work something, that want to offer the society something. You understand? What is your take? Princess, what is your take?
I'll buttress more on this point, but I'll start by saying the Bible says if the foundation is faulty, can the righteous stand? We already have a very shaky foundation as a nation. Let's call a spade a spade. But moving forward, I think we also have to be very intentional with what we put out there when it comes to content, the media space, because we can all agree that majority of what happens in life is being adapted from what people see online. You talked about the internet space of doing frauding and all of that. It didn't just happen. This is something someone picked from somewhere. And whether we like it or not, it came from the internet space. So now we have to be consciously intentional about the kind of content we put out there. It boils down also to making irrelevant people famous. Because if you want to have a better nation tomorrow, and then the likes of okay, let me not call him.
You can call him. It's allowed.
Call the name.
Yes, let's drag it.
The likes of Speed Darlington, you know.
They don't find out.
The likes of Speed Darlington post video and still get views. And as far as I'm concerned, there's also a guy called Pastor Eddie. Yeah. People like that. They come online, they go live, and you have hundreds and thousands of people on their life. Literally, he made a video today and said, why, as a woman, why are you looking forward to getting married? It's a waste of time. You should be outside of the street doing prostitution.
The Pastor Eddie?
Yes.
A woman?
A man.
Oh.
A bleaching man at that.
He's giving princess.
Well, I don't know this person, but that is why I think this is 25 years. From now to 2050 is 25 years. I think it is still early to start doing this now, right? So, and we now going to, because most things before 25 years, it's going to be internet everywhere. It's going to be social media everywhere, almost everything that we're going to be doing. So we need to be in their face. You know, they started doing Yahoo because somebody doing it and show them results. You know, all these flashy flats, isn't it? But now I think we have the advantage to change the narrative, to change the indoctrination that have been done to them for like over the years. So when we start telling them what works, if people that wants to show results, because I wants to be showing results. Anybody that wants to show them that, okay, you can go this way and you will be a good hand to your family and you will be a good hand to your society. Just, you know, things that will help them take their mind from where it has been to the right path and also beneficial to our country.
I also think it's also important that people who have the money and have good heads on their shoulder needs to get more involved in owning the spaces where this content are going into. Like the likes of Facebook, if you are a Nigerian and you can afford to buy some kind of a share where you have a say, because these things they're controlled by a percentage of people. And it's an intentional act to keep people behind. It's not like they don't know what they're doing. Because if you take, for example, in China, on their social media platform, I joined one of them. They are not talking about get ready with me. These guys are building things at as little as kindergarten. Whereas in your TikTok account in Nigeria, you see people going naked, doing all sorts of things. So it's an intentional act with these media owners and media spaces. So if you have money and you can get involved, please do. That is one way to control the narrative as well.
Yeah.
That is my take.
Yes. So, it's a good one. And why I say this, somebody also gave me this example because I discussed with some people. He said, look at what everybody knows in China. You know, if you're watching social media, if you're watching it from there, not from here, because the algorithm is different. Yeah. If you're watching social media from China, you will see more people doing skillful job, doing educational content. All these things is to help change the mindset of Chinese people that, okay, this is what we need to be exporting to the world.
Yeah.
This is what we need to be doing to help our community or our country. And that is what we need to start. I think, from my own opinion, what the government need to do is to make a policy that can work, that can help people work. A favorable policy is not a rip-off policy. And put infrastructure like road and light, because I think if you're asking them to do too much, they're never going to do anything.
Security, very important.
Yeah.
Leave the road. Give us security and light. We will find it.
So, Chief.
White cap chief.
What do you think? Give us your take.
Well, when I saw the information that 400 by 2050,
25 years from now.
25 years from now, it will be projected that it is projected the Nigerian population will increase to 400 million. Well, that 400 million is like minimum, yeah, because I think we are approaching that figure.
It will be more.
It will be more. It will be more than that. So, in terms of helping, like creating that future that we want, making sure that we don't have 400 million users.
We don't export 400 users.
We don't export 400. Already, Nigerians are a threat to the world. We are too smart, too talented. I'm not saying this just because I'm in Nigeria.
Yeah, but it's
It
fact.
is fact. It is
proven
there.
fact.
It is every other nationality from, they have proven it. They keep talking about it. So now, I will look at it from two different angles. First is, foundation, which is the government, and secondly is the elders, the Egmoadugbos. We.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
reach
because
elder.
from now to that
By
time,
that
from
time you
now
Once
to
they
that
start
time.
life,
By that time, you don't become elder. So from the government side, it is so sad that in Nigeria, as we speak now, only one state, which is Abia State, just started teaching history and religious studies in schools, primary schools, and nursery school and primary schools. I mean, I am not interested in the religion, but our history should not be thrown away because we are made of our history. Everything we learned in school, even till now, everything we learned in school is history. English language is history. Mathematics is history. There is no new mathematics formula now that started today. Any mathematics formula
No new discovery.
no new discovery. It's just the same old thing. So it's just history we are learning. But our own history, former President Buhari removed it because of his excuse that it's not making any sense. So now, history will shape the generation that are coming or the people who will be there.
We need to know who we are.
For we to know who we are. And if we are going to do anything, let's take, for instance, we want to enter into tech. Baba, if you, China again, we always use China as an example. If you buy a Chinese product, they will put the language, even some of them, the language comes in Chinese first. What that tells you is that it's built in China by Chinese people. So we have to learn how to use their own product because everything is built on their history and their heritage. And we need to go back and look at these things, especially our government. Enable our history. Yeah, it is ugly. If we don't like it, it creates a whole lot of things. Yeah, but we can shape it. We can rewrite it. Yeah, but use our history to, teach the generation that will hit this 400 million. And again, from our own side, the elders, because by then we will become elder.
Chai.
What are we doing? Really, if
You don't want to be elder.
I want to be baby there for life. But I mean,
if you look at the, especially millennials, we are not talking much. If you look at the millennials, we are not talking. Those who are really talking, they are the Gen Zs. And permit me to say this, the Gen Zs only know the gadgets, the AI, how they can use computer to do one or two things. The real Omenala, the real, what was the word again?
OG. Before IG.
The real tradition,
knowledge.
the real culture, our heritage, our roots, they don't know them. No jokes. They do not know it. And at the end of the day, we'll end up building things or doing things that will favor other people without, giving credit to our own tradition or our own, Nigerianness. Let me put it that way.
Princess gave instance with Darlington. Sorry.
speed
Darlington.
talent.
With Darlington and one pastor.
Eddie.
Pastor Eddie. These are, I don't know, what most of the things Speed Darlington is doing, I think it's a joke. Apart from the recent one that he said on his live.
Oh.
So apart
So you
from...
didn't find that funny?
I did not. I did not find that one funny. So apart from what he did last, everything, all the content he's been creating, I think is a joke. All is a joke to me. And we need to tell... and also this cross-dressing they are doing also right now in Nigeria is on the rise now.
It is
It's
rampant.
on the rise now.
It is rampant.
So
and
people are finding it, people are not using their mind enough. They are not using their mind enough. The most precious thing they have. They need to stay and think and work on what they thought about.
And it will get worse because with the enabling of AI, you don't even need to think anymore. You just need to...
prompt.
My sister's husband was telling me, because he's into tech, he was telling us the house the other day. He said they are building something where you put a gadget and it just reads your mind. And then it tells you whatever you were thinking. I went for a seminar some days ago. They also mentioned the same thing. So it's going to get worse.
Yeah, it's going to get worse. Even a Neuralink, Elon Musk is building a chip to put in your brain so that you can match up with the computer.
There we
Yeah,
go.
if you don't want to be left behind, you have to put a chip in your brain. Everybody's saying that he's building a chip to help the lame, people that cannot walk, but we know there will be upgrade. So now we want to be faster in class. We want to be faster in our company. We want to write the latest code. We are going to use that.
Yeah.
Most people will use that. So, but how can we at least help our Nigerians, right, to follow the world and go where the world is going, and not just, okay, let me just relax and do cross-dressing, come out in front of camera and talk so many shit and I'll get viewers.
Yeah, we don't have to follow the world and go where the world is going. We have to follow our own world and go to our own direction.
Let's move forward and be able to compete at the global stage.
The global stage, you have to compete with us.
Okay, that's
idea.
what we want.
Yes. So if we go at our own pace, everybody is competing with China. They are going at their own pace. They are not chasing you. They are not chasing me. They are just there doing their thing. We are chasing them. So that's the idea. If we can do our thing, focus on us, focus internally, use what we have to. If at the end of the day, we have to sell to ourselves,
We will still make it.
we will
Because
We
we're
have
more
the
than enough.
numbers.
Yes.
We have the numbers, we have the natural resources. And I feel like now people will come for me, but I feel like Nigerians, we have inferiority complex. Yeah.
Most of us do.
Most of us do.
Yeah.
Because this is why you mentioned something very, very interesting. You talked about the Chinese building things and putting the instruction in their language. Whether you like it or not, if you need to buy a gadget and you need it and it's written in Mandarin, you have to find a way to translate it to use the gadget. Now, you see a typical Igbo man. I'll use an Igbo man, for example. They have an accent. We have a tongue. There's a way we speak. Like, I used to tease my mom those days. They call rain lane. The Igbo man cannot pronounce the word arrow properly. You find an Igbo man who has gathered enough strength and courage to speak in front of a camera, and people are laughing at him and say he cannot speak English. But for crying out loud, English is not his mother tongue.
Yeah.
But how do you see people that does that? If I speak English and makes mistake, they will laugh at me, or they will say you have Igbo accent. What accent do you want me to have?
This is where the inferiority complex comes
What
from, because we want
accent
to.
do you want me to have?
It's a very good question. You should ask. Actually, look at the camera and ask them. Because
Yeah, just
As an Igbo man, me speaking another man's tongue, what accent do you want me to use to speak that tongue?
And now you have the Gen Zs coming online with all of them with different about Timo accents. Some is speaking. I'm like, girl,
when was the last time you visited Nigeria? Everybody in Nigeria speaks British now. In it. Everybody. Both people who go school and people who don't go school. Everybody speaks in it now.
Yeah, no, but if you look at it the other way also, it's a talent.
Yeah.
it is a talent, but at the end of the day, we're talking about exporting non-nuisance. First, it has to come from you knowing who you are and accepting who you are and understanding there is power that lies with who you are. That way, nobody will brainwash you. That way, you will not have men trying to be like women. Because you're trying to fit into a circle or a society that does not really exist and does not applaud you at the end of the day. Because when push comes to shove, they will sideline you.
Nobody takes, if you want to do serious stuff, nobody is going to invite you.
They do actually invite them,
If you're
unfortunately.
going to discuss about how to move a place forward, that is not entertaining, nobody is going to invite somebody like that. So if you don't want to be important in your society, if you don't want to be one day, you want to make a decision to take something forward, if you want to be at that table, you have to take your life serious. And if you're not in the room where the decision is made, somebody is going to make that decision for you, right? So we want to bring Nigerians, we want Nigerians to start looking at the brighter future. Because with technology, if you don't keep telling them they're going to lose their conscience, it's not just losing their conscience, they're going to lose everything that makes them African and, turn to quicksell. They will become a quicksell. Whatever goes, we're going there. So I think that is what most people should be doing. And we need to be discussing this on our platforms for more ears to hear about it. So this is my take. And what do you guys, Citizen? I call you again because biggest influencer in UAE. You need to start doing this, telling them the way to go.
No, in fairness to Nigerians, in fairness to our people, right? They are also hungry for content that are sense making. They're also hungry for content that are sense making. You know, when I started making content, I was talking about politics. Then there was an issue about visa and law, and I observed that people need information, and we started making content about information about UAE, and the acceptance was huge. Probably maybe because there was a problem and we are providing solution. You know, if you want to make money, when you see problem, you bring solution to it. That's how people get rich. So probably because there was a problem and people need the information. But we in fairness to people, we must also acknowledge that our people are seeking for knowledge. Now, the thing is, creators sometimes feel when you are making videos, or if you're a content creator and you are discussing something important, creators feel you will not have audience, which is very wrong. They feel you will not have audience, we are what we have by the grace of God, but we are what we have because we are making content that makes sense. And people want to listen. People want to watch. People want to engage. People want to, they are looking forward to. If we go live now, people want to come, because they know that once you're live, you are making sense. So creators also should, try as much as possible to bring something new, something good to the table, and stop feeding our people with jargons. If we have a number of content creators that are making sensible content, and they have large audience. If many Nigerian guys that are content creators talking about tech, all this Kegan, then Fisayo, and some other guys, Easy, Vepo, View. So these guys are into tech, and they have huge audience. They have large audience, and they are making sense. So it's not only those that are talking jargons they might not be up there, trending and saying trash. No. One thing is to have trend. Another thing is to have value. So these guys, they don't have trend, but they have value. Go on YouTube, they are making money. Sometimes it's not even about the noise. All this that they are making noise, they don't have money. Where Fisaya goes to stand now, speed that into one stand.
Hey.
You get a point. So this is a Nigerian guy that was invited to US.
Yeah, tech. Yeah, I saw it.
So they just have the noise. But we still have Nigerian content creators that are creating values and they are making news. To make noise is different to make news. So when you make content that are valuable, you make news. You have headlines. When YouTube want to host events in Nigeria, they unpick creators. And you will not see all those guys, all those nuisance. You will not see them there. All those non-entities that are just gaining popularity because they are catching crews and saying trash and degrading our women and saying trash about our people. You don't see them at valuable place. So it now depends on you as a content creator. How do you want to go? Do you want to create content for value and people will take you like this? Or you just want to create content for views and click and you will blow. The noise will be there. You will blow. But if they want to reckon with people, if leaders of industries want to unpick people, are they going to reckon with you? So every content creator, every creator out there that are, trying to make reasonable content, working out their house to make sure they put something good on their table, keep burning the night candle, keep shooting that video, all those on your archive, keep posting them. One day you will get there.
Another thing somebody needs to tell them that development takes time.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because some people, God bless you for that
Gen Z,
point.
no one here saying
The one blue.
one time now.
Before
process.
people, before a child is born, you know how many times the husband and wife don't have flight to raise their leg up.
Bros, how many times, sir?
They fire.
I thought this
Educate me, sir.
podcast was
Educate me,
Now
sir.
where you dey find
Hello.
pikin? Now where you dey find pikin, you go know say to sleep with woman na work.
Hey.
All those way they pursue girls up and down. They now where you dey find pikin?
And you
go know
forgot
say,
you forgot to say that also for the baby to be out. It
I'm
takes
going
9
there.
months also.
I'm going there. So now when you dey find pikin, you go know say to sleep with woman na work. After you come do that one finish, belle enter. 1 month, no even sign. 2nd month, no sign. That is why if you're a creator, you have to, for those that I learned content creator from, Nas Daily. See, this guy just go on 1,000 days. That is more than 3 years. 1,000 days posting video every day. Even days that he is sick. He posts video every day. I'm talking about Nas Daily.
Okay.
Now he's
the biggest
influencing
content creator in the UAE.
in the world.
In the world.
Global. He's working with government of nations now. But this guy take upon himself to travel around the world, making one video every day for 1,000 days. That is what sacrifice is.
Yes.
And that is those that I learned content from. That's why when we start posting content, I look like nobody's watching, don't worry, they watch.
Yeah.
And that's when people are creating content, especially when their content is valuable, they should not mind who is watching. Some people feel, so I've seen some trend on TikTok. I say, I don't post today for my 20 views. Keep posting it. One day will be one day, because when pregnancy is there, it doesn't show like anything is there. Until 9 months, then the baby will come. So keep posting, keep grinding, keep posting. If you have never posted more than 100 videos, you don't have reason to complain. You don't have reason to complain.
And
You
there are
don't
people that
have
have posted up to 300, still they're not complaining.
if if you have not posted even 1,000, I say this guy went around 1,000. You know, until he posts more than 300, I think 350 or 450, before he start getting recognition. And imagine posting every day, every day. So if you have not posted 500 videos, don't complain. Just keep grinding. Just keep sowing. It's just like a farmer, you know, that have gone to the farm to sow. When he sow today, he reach there the next day, nothing did there. 3 weeks, you go just see something they shoot out like this. And before you know it, a whole tree is there. So just keep grinding, keep creating value, and value will sure look for you.
Another example is ChatGPT that everybody knows. ChatGPT, when they started writing the code, doing everything, is 2013, 2014, 2015. Now, after how many years everybody started hearing about ChatGPT?
Almost 10 years.
Yes.
later.
So all these things doesn't take, and all these creators that they are looking now and they want to, if we are using this creative space, content creating as an example, the people that we want to be like are people that have been on the craft for more than 10 years. If you're talking about people like Shaggy, you're talking about people like
Mr. Macaroni.
yeah,
That's another thing. People should
Mark
give
Angels.
themselves time.
Yes,
People should give themselves time to.
it's a process.
It's a process.
I
they
think
should
it
give
should also
themselves
come
time.
from homes. Parents should start sanitizing their children about life and processes. There is no success without a story. So if parents can also start doing that intentionally, I think you should start from the age of 6. You should begin to teach your children about life and the processes that comes with attaining a level of, achievement or whatever it is. And there is a reward for every time you do something right, you get a reward. I think it will also help the next generation. Because these things has to come from home. They say charity begins.
At home.
So it's also very important.
And before somebody becomes like knowledgeable enough to go into the reward, if I'm using Nigeria as an example, before going into the reward and started giving value, the person has to go to nursery, primary school, secondary school, then university. That is how long did you take to try to educate yourself just to face the real world, just to face them? So it takes so much long time to get yourself ready.
It's true.
But it was it, right?
Yeah.
And we need to start, we always need to start thinking or telling them to think how to give value. We need to start giving value. What value can I produce to my society? What value can I give to the people around me? What value? Start doing something that has value, no matter how small it is.
I think also parents need to have an unlearning and relearning of whatever it is, because the way you raise the child in 1992, 1993 is not how you raise a child now. It's not at all. So parents also, because at the end of the day, you can only give what you have. If you don't know, you cannot impact. So if a parent only knows how to scold a child when they do wrong, that is all they know. And you cannot necessarily blame them, but you can also blame them. So parents also need to be open-minded enough to want to learn new things about this particular world that we're living in right now. It's not the same as 10 years or 20 years ago. Things are changing, like you said. It's a quick shift.
Yeah.
And sometimes you close your eyes, you open it, something has moved.
You had something
drastically,
new.
something has moved. I mean, I grew up, I didn't understand what it means for a man to wear skirts. Now I cannot scroll more than one on my social media
see so
platform. I
many
don't
men with
see
skirts.
15 people with twerking even more than girls. And this is me just blinking one day and opening my eyes. And this is the world we live in. So parents need to be very intentional. If at all we need, some kind of courses online, physical places where people need to meet and talk about how to raise children. Because at the end of the day, it actually starts from the home. I'm giving myself as an example. The way I was raised, the Bible says, train up a child in the ways he will go. And when he's old, he will not depart from it. There are certain things I can never do.
Mommy
It's not
Gio.
because I'm holy. It's just because of the kind of, level of foundation or morals that was instilled in me. I cannot do it. Okay, I'll give you an example. I tried one time. I said, okay, people are smoking this shisha. What the heck? How bad can it be? Let me smoke shisha. I couldn't put that thing in my mouth. I couldn't. I just couldn't. Because I was asking myself, why? I don't need to do something everybody else is doing. And my mom is no longer here to say, oh, you cannot
Don't do
smoke.
it.
But because this is how I was raised, it's part of me. So it's important. See, I think it actually has to come from the home. Looking back at it now, the home, that is where the groundwork needs to happen. Because even the so-called leaders were raised by parents. Let it be that you've done your best and then let the child go and baffle. I bet this to say, let him go and spoil. Yeah. But first and foremost, the home is what raised a leader. It starts from the home.
After the parents do what they can do, we will also come and offer our own
Of
parts,
course.
right? Because most of the thing they are going to do is what they've seen online. They are going to see car that is running. Most of them want to get that car. Next year, they have already seen the next phone that is coming, or laptop, or whatever. But all these things, if you are somebody that wants to work, most times it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really make sense to you, unless you see that as if I'm going to get this car, now what am I going to use it for? If I'm going to get this phone, what am I going to use it for? Most people right now are thinking about the phone I can use to create content, to add value. It's not the phone you are going to use to twerk. Most of them don't want to see ladies' ass in the morning when we check our phone. And if you ask Ichie here now, Ichie will tell you that I don't think I will want to settle down with a lady that was twerking online.
Are you sure?
You can ask him. He's sitting right next to you.
My brother,
Speak for yourself, Abi.
No. I will even speak for myself, right? Instagram, yeah. What Instagram saves your, you get how the AI works. So it saves your watch history and use it to push your kind of content to you. I don't unsee. As they are coming to my timeline, I am unseeing it. And my For You page, especially on TikTok, it's quite funny because by the time you scroll 10, you will see 7 informative content
Videos.
and then 3 funny videos. I watch funny videos a lot. So you see 7 or sometimes 6, 4, like that. But anything that has to do with, I'm a very traditional guy, so I'm a very traditional man. Anything that has to do with anything that want to make me deviate from that my route,
You don't want it.
it go hard though.
And twerking is not one of it.
Nah.
Are you sure?
I am very sure.
Twerking, not in public, but the person can actually twerk for you somewhere, but not in public.
If
Are you against twerking at all?
If I am, when I get married,
You find someone you want to do life with.
but when I found someone I want to do live with,
Private.
and we are in our
Private
room,
section.
and we are in our room, we can
twerk
do
away.
anything
And
we
undo.
want to do. But once we are outside, as a matter of fact, if I look you one kind, and you self look me one kind, I go begin ask myself question: why would they look at ourselves, right? So no.
There are things that people can do outside, and there are things we don't want to see on social media.
Exactly. We know we do these things. Yeah, we know these things happen,
But we don't want
But
to
don't
see
show
them.
it. Don't bring it. Don't bring it out.
No, shame is a very big luxury now. Actually, to buy shame now, you need to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody.
And by connection.
Yeah, by connection to buy shame. You see, common sense and shame. You need to have connect to up there because people have lost touch of life. Like, why? If you're a young person and you're watching us, do one thing: go and check your social media accounts. Try to refresh your platforms and see how you can, remove all those things that will, like he rightly said, make you deviate from the course of what you want to achieve in your life. It's important because all of these things are strategy to distract you. At the end of the day, these people have an agenda.
Yeah.
If you're not wise about it, you will get carried along. But if you're smart about it and you catch it quickly, they'll not be able to catch you in that trap. So be smart about it. It doesn't matter if you're Gen Z, you're a boomer, you're a blooming, whatever they call them.
Gen Y.
You're Gen Y, you're Alpha, you're millennial, whatever it is. You can make this thing work for yourself. Because it's one thing for us to talk, it's one thing for you guys to actually want to see change in your life. Yeah.
Yeah. In a third world country, if you come, they say right now Nigeria is already the most populous nation in Africa, if we're using Africa as an example. But there are most things we cannot boast of. If I use my beloved people, for example, South Africa would tell me that they've hosted World Cup. What have Nigeria done? That they've hosted World Rugby. Everything they are doing, they have done world. So what makes out Nigeria
The
giant of Africa?
The people.
Citizen. What makes Nigeria giant of Africa?
Say, they might have hosted the World Cup and Nigerians remain giant of Africa. It is not by our leader. It is by the people and by the achievement that we have had over the years. It is unfortunate that useless leaders like Buhari will remove history from the school curriculum because he knows that if they are teaching people history, it will go down in history that he is one of the most unfortunate presidents Nigeria ever had. That's why I removed it.
So you don't want that?
You said?
He's
That is-
actually a smart man.
That is why. If not, if they were teaching history in school,
Yeah.
an average Nigerian kids or Nigerian in our age will be taught of how we save even South Africa, even the great Mandela.
No, but now the
Even-
question is South Africans, not just South Africa, but I use them as an example. If you're asking somebody what makes Nigeria, if I want to ask you as a
going there,
Nigerian now,
relax, just do like this. Calm down. We are going there. So it is because history are not taught. If history are taught in school, an average person will know what makes Nigerian great. Sure, you get my point. If not from the days of Buhari, that Nigeria now become worthless, people should go and read news of early 2000, how Nigeria was great, how the president of the whole world were flocking down to Nigeria.
Nigeria, yeah.
How the Pope was flocking down to Nigeria. And so if because, we have social media now, everywhere is open now. Now some people are the open. Now some people are the open. Some people have not grabbed a newspaper all their life.
All their life. Some
They
people
have
are
not
aware.
hold newspaper in their hand like this all their life. So will I now be in a conversation with such person and go they ask me, say, how is Nigeria great? Nigeria? No. Ask other nationality, the African countries. They teach them about Nigeria. In their country. They teach them about Nigeria. So if we say Nigeria is the giant of Africa, we are not talking about Nigeria that the leaders like Buhari, like the latter days of Jonathan and the current ones. We are not talking of Nigeria in the last 10 years. Nigeria that have been bastardized. We are talking about Nigeria of Ecomog. You know Ecomog?
Of course.
Charles Taylor.
We are talking about Nigeria where we say we go arrange soldier, go liberate countries. Nigerians that will gather soldier, go for peacekeeping. We are the big brother of Africa.
Of Africa.
Now what US is to the world, that is what Nigeria is to Africa. But if an average person from other part of Africa that is just coming up, that just know life during social media, is now coming to say, hey, it's Nigeria, I will not be in conversation with such person. As that person grabbed the newspaper before in early 20. I've been reading newspaper, going to newspaper stand since 2000. Year 2000. So Nigeria is giant of Africa, not because we just want to
It's not the title.
It's not
Overhype.
just. It's what they have worked for.
But we've lost that glory.
It is not lost.
No,
The money.
that is one of the points of this
first. Is the money that Nigeria have spent. The way US is, as US lost the glory, when they refused to spend money again. Gen Zs are the ones saying all this. And some millennials that don't know. But those we know. Those Gen Zs should go and ask their fathers what Nigeria was. Some 10 years ago in this country, locals will ask you, why are you here as a Nigerian? Your country, mashallah, very blessed. Locals will ask you.
But they
so
cannot
it's
ask
not,
the question now.
It's not about giant of Africa. No, locals will ask you. All these Asians, all these Iranians will ask you, Nigeria, oh, mashallah, your country very blessed. Sure, you get a they know Aso Rock, they know this, they know us, about us. So we are not talking about Nigeria of the last 10 years that politicians have bastardized. When you are great now. When you are great, you are great. If they no give crocodile food for 1 year, you know go reduce to the size of a lizard. Say crocodile no shop 1 year. You know go come reduce to size of lizard.
Deep.
So whether Nigeria of now, other Nigeria of, when you are big,
You are big.
Because even as of today, Nigeria of today, industries that Nigerians are leading, can other part of Africa claim to have people they are leading? Today now, as we sit down here, people from other African countries, they know Nigerian artists more than you. They know Nigerian actors more than you. They watch Nigerian movie. Have you watched Kenyan movie before? Have you watched South African movie before?
As an example.
That conversation is for Gen Zs and millennials that don't know. But if they don't know, they should ask their grown-up parents. They knows. And even as at today, as Nigeria no get visa for you, you know how many people are happy? You know how many people are happy? You are working, right? You know how many people are happy? Even though we don't get visa, they see the visa, we don't get visa, but now the flex pass. How they take the draw? This is what they are making content about. I've seen content from some Africans, even you, they say, Nigerians, they don't have visa. They are not even working, but they will still cook. They will still cook fish with meat and egg together. What is your problem? If you that you are working, you cannot eat like them. So when you are big, you are big. And if lizard, if crocodile, show for 1 year. Go reduce in size, become lizard. And so that conversation, I beg now just.
So how can, if we are going to be the third populous nation in the world, how can we fit that glory?
For me, I feel what individuals that are, well-to-do in Nigeria should focus on more is educating the younger ones, especially in terms of being computer literate. If person want do not, maybe they just import computer in containers. They open centers. As we have it then. That time, cyber cafes. People go spend nights there. They should, local government, state government, House of Rep members, they should be opening centers like that. Because that is what the world is becoming now. Hard work does not guarantee much money again. But those that know how to use their brain. How do you need to use your brain? By, being exposed to the whole world. So they should start bringing computers to Nigeria. They should start, teaching people how the world works now. Because it's how the world works now, apart from how the world works before. Even going to school, education, university, it's not a flex again. It's not a flex.
After all,
many
cockroach
people,
labeling, they teach us.
Many people get certificate now. They are boss for work.
No get.
You know even get.
You don't even sabi speak English.
They are boss. Many people, many Nigerians, they get BSc.
If you write message for group for group this thing, you go to read and you not going to understand what
When are they
reply you privately.
When are they work? When conversation reach, they go tell me, sit Olu. Slowly speaking. Slowly speaking. So even BSc universities, they don't really count again. But what can you do? That is what is in the world now. What can you do? Go to UK, US. Now we they go school there.
Yeah, no. My brother is in the UK. He did masters in Nigeria before going to the UK. When he got to the UK, the first time we spoke, he said, "Bros, I regret doing masters." I'm like, "Why?" He said, "We are not using it here. Even my BSc, nobody has asked me for it."
You when you go do BSc, you never they take and work. You never do anything. You still they go do
masters.
Some people still they go do PhD.
So he said where he was working, all his bosses that they have, what they have is O level. He's in Oga when they report to get O level just because he's a British citizen.
But that Oga still gets experience in that field more than him.
That's what I'm saying. Say they should start teaching people how to have experience in specific field. If you look at Nigerian courses now, most of the courses they teach people, there are courses where we say, if you take and do better if you come out for that country.
How to label cockroach.
But our traditional way of education is not going to go away. It's not going to go away. Most of the things I know now, I did not learn it in school. 90% of the things I know was not in school. I did not learn it in school. So there are millions of ways to get education. And we're asking them to learn the good things that will help them and help the society. They should learn things that will not teach them how to cross-dress. Cross-dressing is not a good thing. Coming online to say that you sleep with underage is not a good thing. Or telling people to do a shower job, a shower work. I don't forget the slangs from the Nigerian slang.
OS.
So telling people to go always take the easy way out. I also believe that the new generation, they can think. They will know right now who is providing value to them. When they want to learn about life, when they want to learn about how to move forward, how to provide for the family, or how to do business, they know where to go to. And when they want to make a meeting or when they want to have any seminar that will provide value to them, they're never going to call who taught them how to cross-dress. You understand? So we want more Nigerians to come out to tell them, you can actually do this and provide value to you and your family. You can actually do this. And for people that wants to show results, show them results, because most people, they will say, oh, this thing that I've been doing, I have not seen so many people that are progressing in it. Most Nigerian pastors now are preaching success. How do I say this? Most Nigerian pastors are preaching prosperity
Now
in the
poverty made
church.
any preach.
So other pastors
Now
have
poverty
seen
made any
other pastors have seen the outcome of the kind of sermon they are preaching. So everybody is following suit.
Yeah, let everybody follow.
You understand?
You know what makes
so
money?
for people that are adding value, just like you said, most tech content creators that are actually getting value, money wise, if they can be showing, because this generation want to say, okay, this thing that I'm suffering day to day, at least make I see internet, see how much did they make for YouTube, or see how much did they make for Facebook, you know. If any of us or any content creator out there can actually sometimes go and show that I am doing content for how to cook Nigerian food and I've been doing it for so time, this is how much I'm getting. Or this is how you can start this business, or this is how you can do this. Let people that are adding value should be showing it more than people that are doing cross-dressing or misbehaving on the internet. We have to change the psychological warfare, the bad things that have been done to our people. So that in the next 25 years, when they are inviting leaders at the world stage to how can this move forward, you must mention Nigeria. Or it's not that they will say Microsoft is moving their company from China to India. If they move it from India, they move it back to US. They move it China, India, US. Nobody is mentioning Nigeria. And we have the brain, we have the manpower. You understand? So this is my take. And I think I will rest it here. If there is anything any of you want to add, will be okay.
Like I mentioned earlier, I cannot overemphasize it. We should. We must. In fact, must is the word. We must go back to our roots. We must go back to our roots and stop westernizing. I mean, the colonial masters, they have done their part. Yeah? They have left. Whether we want to forgive them or not is now on us. Now we need to go back to where we are coming from and start from there. Because of the fact that we are forgetting our roots, that is why we have all of this nuisance everywhere. And like you rightly said, so we don't produce 400 nuisance. If we don't go back, go ahead.
The colonial masters you are talking about are showing the new generations what they can do with their own culture. We are not showing.
That's what I'm saying. That's
we
what
are not
I
showing.
That is what I
we have
with,
to be at the forefront, reindoctrinate our people.
Yes, that's what I opened with. If the government should do it, and we also, the millennials or those who understands our tradition and our culture, we should do it. We should bring our people back to us, to our roots. We should start life from there. There are things you cannot do. I mean, in the villages back then, if you do anyhow, they go ban you for the village. That is why you have a lot of vagabonds and prodigal children. When they don't ban from their village, they go another village, they find how they go survive. As they go there, their mind goes set, because that place where they go to, they have rules and regulations, and where there is no sin, where there is no law, there is no sin.
Now, you get another thing where not make sense, that before you see a Nigerian that have fully realized, if it percentage wise, what the word is talking about, that person is like late 20s going to 30 something. That makes sense. It don't make sense.
It's already getting late
if the
at that
person
time.
leave Nigeria or leave Africa, the people he's going to be competing with are 20, 18, 20, 22. So teaching them something from the early age, letting them know what to do, just like you rightly said, our parents. If you dey see person of 18 years, you go doctor not be picking, no. Not be picking. The moment you leave Africa, you realize that 18 years old kid is not actually a kid. The person is offering good value to the world. Value. I will also go back to I keep saying value because it's valued based. You have to teach your children what you have to teach them. You have to help the society. You have to point them to the right direction.
It's a nice conversation, and it's a nice conversation, especially, talking about how the country can move forward and how the next generation can be of valuable individuals. It's a nice conversation. Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. If this is your first time coming across Vicinfluential, please subscribe to this channel. We've been grinding for you, trying to bring value for you, bringing our people, and giving you nuggets. We want you to be useful to your family and your society. Please join this channel or be part of this community. Like this video, share it, and see you next week on Vicinfluential. Thank you.